Live from downtown Vancouver at the Vancouver Film School campus, it's time for EP Live. Hey, welcome to EP, and my name is Victor Lucas, and this is Bear Safi. I'm not even going to touch you, my friend.
Yes, the elbow. It's a weird time right now, ladies and gentlemen. Very weird time.
We have an amazing show for you today, and thank you guys for joining us. We are live at the VFS Cafe at 390 West Hastings, and we've got a couple things to say thank you for. First of all, to our friends at Sony Pictures Canada, who not only hooked up our audience with tickets to Bloodshot tonight, but they sent out some T-shirts and some posters. Sony Pictures Canada, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. We're going to have a good time at the flick tonight. We've got some dedications that we've got to get to for the rundown, but I'm going to tell you first who our guests are. Josh Sway, who directed an incredible documentary called Insert Coin about the history of Midway. He's on the show. And also Sam Miskovich from Ars Technica, our friend Sam. He's going to be joining us to talk about the cancellation of E3 and some other things, and sort of diving into this interesting new phase that we're all moving forward into. But first, we've got a rundown to get to, and I'm going to dedicate this one to Max von Sydow, who passed away this week. Legendary actor, and we saw him most recently, I think, in The Force Awakens. He had one of the best lines in the movie. He said, "This will begin to make things right," which was kind of like a slight sort of apology, I think, for some of the previous Star Wars decisions.
There's a lot of little hidden little pieces of text in there for sure.
Yeah, but I also loved him as Ming the Merciless in that old Flash Gordon movie. Incredible actor. Also, to Johnny and Kim, they announced that they are having a baby. So
round
congratulations
of applause for that.
to Johnny and Kim. Happy console gamer.
Amazing.
So great. Their video is fantastic. You should watch that. Okay, let's get started with our rundown. It is official, E3 has been canceled. This morning, the ESA officially confirmed rumors that the annual video game trade show is canceled this year, citing the growing fears of COVID-19. This makes 2020 the first year without an E3 since the event began in 1995. The ESA says they're exploring the possibility of an online experience for the show, but no firm details about that have been revealed. And we're going to talk to Sam a little bit about that in a second here, but what did you think when you saw that?
The first person I thought of was actually you, Vic.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's not many journalists and people around who have been at E3 with a microphone and a camera since
all of
you.
them.
Yeah, I mean, like this is the first E3 that we are missing, and it's crazy to think that, I've always kind of referred to this as Christmas for gamers.
Yeah.
And it's a time for all of us to kind of come together, celebrate, and, get excited for each other. Even if it's a franchise that I don't care about, I love seeing other gamers get passionate and hype. And I feel like June is going to feel very empty this year.
I think the industry is going to fill June, and I honestly believe that this is going to be, the move to digital is happening, right?
Yeah.
And we're seeing things like Reggie Fils-Aimé join the board at GameStop and stuff to try to stave off this inevitability that digital is going to be where a lot of people consume this stuff. With COVID-19 becoming a deal around the world, I think video games are about to get more attention than they have had in lots of other ways, because we're going to be quarantined and stuck inside playing amazing video games, and we're also going to find out about video games in some pretty cool ways too.
Yeah.
But yes, it is unbelievably disappointing that we aren't going to get together, because E3, in addition to the game stuff, is the people stuff.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it's the one time in the year where we just get to see everyone come together and celebrate. And it's different when it's online and the directs. And I know Xbox also, they said they're going to do a Xbox press conference, like a digital sort of deal. But it's just not going to feel the same. There's something about that stage presence and those interviews and you coming up to Sam Witwer or Cory Balrog and just having those interactions that are so human.
I met Tommy Tallarico at E3 1995.
I mean, things happen, and it's the celebration of games, and it's crazy to think that we're not going to have something more in-depth to watch.
It is incredibly sad, but I also feel like this is also a statement about the way that E3 has been working with the industry itself, and also the LA Convention Center not really kind of understanding how valuable the video game companies coming to the convention center and being a center for the industry in Los Angeles, how important that is. Lots of layers there. We'll get into it a bit more with Sam in a bit here, but let's move on. When it comes to NFL exclusivity in the video game industry, EA has fumbled and lost possession. 2K Sports has inked a deal to create a new licensed NFL video game or video games for the first time since 2005. Since then, EA has been the exclusive maker of official NFL games through their Madden series, but the new deal will allow 2K to make their own NFL games at the same time. This will be a little different from Madden, though. 2K says that their games will be non-simulation, which means they'll likely be more arcadey and less realistic. The first of the new 2K NFL video games will touch down next year. If we're getting some NFL Blitz style games from 2K, I'm all for
NFL
that.
Blitz, NFL Street. I think there's a lot of space for the
Which
arcade.
EA owns both of those.
I know, but it's just that style.
Yeah.
And we see how well 2K does with the NBA 2K franchise.
Right.
Not only with their, their simulation mode, their story mode. They have that playground where you pretty much are walking around and you meet other players online with your character and
they
challenge
also
them to a street,
They also did the Playgrounds game, too, for NBA.
That's right, yeah.
Where they sort of assumed it, they consumed it, and then they put it out there and sort of tied it to the 2K brand. And they've thrown too much microtransaction stuff in there, and hopefully that isn't a big part of what happens with this NFL deal.
Yeah, EA has that stuff, too.
Yes.
But as we've seen with everything in the world, competition is a good thing.
Yeah.
I think that they might need a kick in the butt, and maybe 2K will be the ones to bring it.
I honestly hope that this is a new trend. I hope that this is a trend, and if we start to get into subscription for sports gaming, I think would be a pretty accessible thing for a lot of fans out there. Like they would probably prefer to pay a yearly fee and not have to buy anything, earn it all, as opposed to this is all pie in the sky. Because they make so much money.
That's what I was about to mention. I think they just make way too much money, and you really look at the regions outside of North America. Especially with the FIFA games.
I hate that we talk about how much money all these things make.
I mean,
we legitimize it as this massive industry, but they're paying people to create the animation of ripping open cards.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But who knows? Maybe 2K will surprise us here.
Yeah.
Let's think brightly about the future.
I'm
excited.
That would be an interesting way for 2K to go right at EA and say, we're going to drop all the microtransactions. You can earn everything. You pay one price, and it's a super fun, arcadey, football game. Can
you imagine the response for that?
And same if they do that with Playground, too, whatever they do with that Playground franchise that they have with the NBA. Anyways, the PS5 is right around the corner, but before it arrives, it looks like the PlayStation 4 is going out in style. Sony and Sucker Punch Productions have announced that their samurai game, Ghosts of Tsushima, will hit the PS4 on June 26th, with The Last of Us Part 2 set to land in May. That makes Ghosts of Tsushima I'm butchering the name, the last big first-party exclusive developed for the PS4, bringing an entire console generation to an end. It's unclear if the game will have some kind of up-resed version on the PS5. Sony has already stated that the PS5 will be backwards compatible with almost all PlayStation 4 games, so chances are it will at least run on the new console. This game looks ridiculous.
It looks so good. They just released the gameplay trailer. I'm actually might be a little bit more stoked for this than Last of Us in some ways, and I love The Last of Us. I absolutely adore it, but there's something about seeing Sucker Punch kind of take on a new IP and just to see what they've got. We have to imagine this is going to end up on the PC.
You think?
I think so. I mean, I'm thinking like 3-4 years down the line, just like Horizon. I think that we will start to see upgraded definitive editions on the PS5. We got to remember that Last of Us 1 released in 2012. PS4 came out in 2014. And then they launched with Last of Us Remastered. The one thing that the PS5 can't do that the Xbox One X can do is 4K at 60 frames a second.
Right.
And
we don't know much about PlayStation 5.
Well, you gotta imagine it's gonna do 4K at 60 frames a second.
Yes.
At the very least.
About the PlayStation 5?
Yeah.
Whatever
Xbox
5 is sort of putting together around their machine, Sony will meet or exceed. And all of their sort of keeping their cards close to their vest, which I think is also tied to COVID-19 and production issues.
Who knows?
I think that we will have some incredible technology. But what I think is really exciting about Xbox Series X is this backwards compatibility equation, and certainly that's been tipped at with PlayStation 5. you know, I think they've got to work it so every game that came out on PS4 is playable on PlayStation 5. They got to do whatever they can. I can't imagine what game wouldn't be playable on PlayStation 5.
I think that's the plan. I would be surprised if that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
I think what most people are kind of hoping for is PS3, PS2, and PS1
I am.
backwards compatibility.
Yeah, I've got
right?
all of those discs, man.
Yeah.
I want to be able to pull them off the shelf and play some
I
of
think
those
PS3
classics.
is the one that's kind of weird. That was a strange console to program for and a strange one to emulate. That's the one I'd be the most shocked to see, to
We're
be honest.
so many years since then. They have got to have the horsepower to
so.
deal with
I hope
that,
so.
you know?
Yeah.
All right, now it looks like the Robinson family isn't going to outlive the Netflix 3-season curse. Netflix has renewed their new Lost in Space series for a third and final season. Shooting will begin later this year with a premiere window slated for 2021, bringing the late Robinson family's journey to an end, at least until, not the Robinson family's journey to an end, at least until the franchise is inevitably rebooted yet again. Lost in Space is just the latest that's where the late came from. Latest Netflix series to be canned after 3 seasons. The streaming giant has stated that 3 is their ideal number. Algorithms have determined that 4 or more seasons don't bring in as many new subscribers, so it's better to cancel at 3 and focus resources on new content instead. It's
Can
like
we just not talk about algorithms and making good content? I feel like that just kills my soul, and you hear YouTubers always talk about,
I know.
let's make a video that will get me the views through an algorithm rather than making a great video.
Right.
This is just where the industry's heading, and it's sad.
It's the Cylons and the boards
Yes.
making content for us.
But
right?
the 3-season curse, it's like, I'm actually thinking now, it's not a lot of shows. I guess there's Black Mirror and Stranger Things that have kind of surpassed the 3-season mark.
True.
But yeah, a lot of stuff kind of gets canned right away.
You know what though, man? Like if you do 3 strong seasons of a show, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. No, for
you
sure.
know? And I feel like so many shows, and I love Arrow and the Arrowverse, but there are so many fantastic shows that we can all point to that go on and on.
Lost.
Yeah, and then they have to create. Remember the season of Lost where like a bunch of new people just
Oh
showed
God!
up and
Don't
they're
even
like,
talk to me about Lost.
who are
Vic.
those people?
No,
where were they?
We're
They
not
never-
getting
never-
into that conversation today.
But every show has that.
It's
so
true.
I feel like, and I like Lost in Space. I know it's got some problems and
Yeah.
some logic issues, and nobody listens to the mom, and she's awesome. But I like the show because at the heart of it is this family that really loves each other and tries to protect each other. And that there was an episode in the last season that just got me.
Yeah, it's a great point. Actually, thinking about it, even anime, a lot of you anime viewers know that a lot of the best animes are actually the ones that are sometimes 24 episodes or
the
12.
Brits do
like
this.
They just kind of give us a nice concrete story.
Yes.
In a short amount of time.
Honestly,
and
what
stick
you
with us
do,
forever.
you come out with 3 seasons, you let that live. It's great work. Everybody makes some money, and they have a fun time building all that.
Yeah.
And then if you own that IP, you bring it back with a new cast again, and you do a reboot of the idea, or some kind of re-envisioning of everything. Like they do with
that's
Doctor
true.
Who, right?
Yeah, it's just crazy to think that Netflix will one day become like a dumpster fire of just reboots of their own franchises. We'll see a Stranger Things reboot.
Yeah.
And some people might accidentally watch the old one when anyways, I'm not looking forward to the future of this, but it is a good thing keeping seasons short.
Yes. All right. Well, we have got to move on, and right now we've got some ideas for you to make your weekend plans.